Okay, this episode is going to be about brakes. Not completely finished with brakes, but I've made some good progress. And just to kind of give you an overview of what the original NARC plans called for, essentially said if you had 18-inch wheels, then you could use a Corvette 13-inch rotor. And then it had these brackets that were manufactured that would bolt onto the back, and your calipers would bolt to that, and everything would be just fine. Now, OEM Lamborghini uses 15.7 inches on the front and 15 inches on the back. Well, the OEM wheels are 19 on the front and 20 on the back. So if I was to use a 13-inch diameter rotor, it would just look tiny. So part of the other problem is I have different bolt patterns. The rear bolt pattern on OEM Lamborghini is 5 by 120, and on the front it's 5 by 112. So using AI, I asked Gemini, I said, who makes a 5 by 120 rotor that would fit maybe 1 inch wide, drilled and slotted? So I came back and said essentially a 2012 Chevy Camaro has the 5 by 120 bolt pattern. So I went to Rock Auto and I ordered a left and a right, and I waited and I waited and I waited, and I never got a shipping number. So I finally called them and said, hey, I haven't got these yet. And they said, well, just fill out a report that says you haven't got them and we'll send you another one. So I went back and filled out a report saying I didn't get them, and they gave me a new order number, and all of a sudden I had tracking number, and it was getting as far as Austin, out for delivery, and I got a message saying the package was damaged, we're going to contact the vendor. So this has been going on for about 2 weeks now. So Rock Auto canceled the order, and I got my money back. So I started looking somewhere else, and then I found on Parts Geek that I could actually get a set of rotors for cheaper, and they actually could deliver them. So I ordered those, I received those rotors, put them on, and they fit just perfectly. I was very happy with them. Well, in the meantime, Rock Auto delivered the rotors. Like 2 days later, they delivered the rotors. And then the day after that, I got another set of rotors. So now I got 3 sets of rotors. So, of course, Rock Auto wanted one back, which I sent back. But they said, since you've already claimed, we've claimed with the shipper, so you don't have to pay for the first ones. So right now I have on the back 14.5-inch rotors that fit just fine. I'm going to use the same 14.5 inches on the front, but they will have to be re-drilled to a 5 by 112, and then the center has to be enlarged slightly to fit the hub. Now, on the back, and I'll show you here lately, and I'll show you what I had to do to make actually new brackets to fit the rotors, because they're larger than the 13-inch ones that were on the RC plans. So all that being said, I do have the rear ones on. I've ordered the brake lines and the banjo fittings and necessary adapters to make it work. And let me show you what we've done. Okay, getting some of the brake parts in. I have 4 calipers. Then I've got the premium brake pads. And there's a part number there. And these are the bolts for bolting the calipers to the hubs. And those are the part numbers for the calipers. And I've also got some caliper paint. So the calipers will be red when I'm all said and done. Okay, got these all cleaned up, test fitted, and let's go ahead and get them painted. One of the issues that I've been dealing with is I've gone with 365 millimeter calipers on the back. This is the original setup from NARC. Added in the spacers here, and then they would normally bolt here and then be welded. But with the larger calipers, you can see that doesn't really work. So what I've had to do was I made up a new bracket. That will go on like that. So that will give me what I need as far as trying to keep this spaced evenly for the new brackets. The new rotors, rather. Okay, on to the next one. When making your own brackets, you want to make sure that you've got spacing here. So I put a couple cardboard spacers in here to make sure I had the proper offset from the rotor. Okay, new bracket installed and painted with Steelit. I went through and drilled and tapped a new hole to hold the rotor on. Now let's go ahead and show you the assembled process. Now the calipers are bolted to the new bracket. Fits very nicely. Now on the front, these are the brackets that normally would hold on the caliper. I'm going to use the same 365 millimeter rotors on the front, but I got to have them drilled to the proper 112 bolt pattern, and this is going to have to be milled out a little bit on the rotor to make it fit. Now doing that, the caliper is going to sit out here farther. So I'm going to have to fabricate a bracket here to make sure that works. Okay, let's talk about trying to fix problems. This is a clutch master cylinder, and it's installed the way the plans call for. Has remote fill, but I really have never been able to really get the amount of response that I need in my clutch. So what I'm going to do, I think there's going to be enough room that I can turn it 90 degrees, but that means I'm either going to have to fabricate a plate or something to attach the clutch master cylinder. But yeah, this has been something that's been bugging me for a long time. Of course, we'll have to make a new clutch line hose with a splice in it. So not something I really want to do, but this just is not working out the way that it is right now. So stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would appreciate it if you would, and be sure and turn on your post notifications. Thank you for watching.